Do you remember this mini DIY watercolor sketchbook that I did a while ago? Well, I finished it. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. You would have seen me paint this pancake in that DIY sketchbook video. If you haven't, go check that out. And as for these two paintings, I thought I was filming it, but I wasn't. I don't know why. So I'm not considering those three. So let's begin with the first painting for today's video. For the first one, I tried something that I wanted to try for a really long time, and that is to use markers as an underbase or underpainting for my color pencil drawing. So I did a quick sketch and filled in with all the colors using markers and just let that dry. For the next one, I used oil pastels and I'm quite used to them, but I haven't drawn anything tiny with them before because oil pastels don't have any fine tip. So it was really challenging for me to do because these macarons had a lot of details on them. Once I'm done with it, I covered it with a plastic wrap and got back to my first painting, which is now dry. So all that I had to do was correct all the values using color pencils, add highlights and shadows, and define its shape a bit more, and that's it. It was so easy and so quick when you compare it to the usual way of using color pencils. To keep the oil pastels from smudging, I pasted that plastic wrap and moved on to my next one, and I used watercolors for this. The paper that I used for this DIY sketchbook was by Zen Sangam, and I'm really shocked at its quality because it says it's watercolor paper, but it doesn't even take on 2 layers of watercolors. If you have any idea of making this sketchbook, don't use that paper. Use Brustro instead. That's what I always use, or other higher end papers. Just don't use this. The main reason as to why I did this sketchbook is because number 1, I couldn't find a mini sketchbook out there on the internet, and number 2, I really like tiny stuff. And number 3, I wanted something that isn't as daunting as an A4 sketchbook because that's a bigger page and I have to cover up a lot of area when you compare it to a mini sketchbook, because this is a really small space and you can really fill it up quickly. And those are the 3 main reasons as to why I did it. Also, I wanted a place to experiment all the things that I come across and all the things that I wanted to for a really long time. I am someone who gets bored really easily and quickly, and that's the main reason as to why I use lots of different mediums like graphite, watercolors, color pencils, oil pastels, and even in this sketchbook, I told you in the beginning that I wanted to try markers as an underbase for color pencil drawings, and I did lots of them, like 3 or 4, and I got bored of it and I switched to another medium. And that's the reason as to why I used watercolor papers to make this sketchbook, because they can take on lots of different mediums like markers, watercolors, color pencils, oil pastels, but I should have used my Brustro papers or some other paper because this paper is really bad. Whenever you use markers, there will always be bleeding to the back side of the paper, and that's what these pens did, and I don't know what to do with that page for a really long time until I got this idea to use negative painting technique, and that's what I did. And I thought I ruined this page, but somehow I got to the point where I liked it. For this apple drawing, I used watercolors as the underbase and used color pencils on top just to see how they turn out, and I'm really happy with it. If you are someone who has been following this channel for a really long time, then I'm sure you would have noticed that none of the paintings that I do in this sketchbook is similar to any other videos on this channel. And that's because I am trying all those things that I wanted to try for a really long time. Like these food illustrations, because I wanted to do one for quite some time now, but I just couldn't find a spare time because all those days that I get to make one single YouTube video is restricted, and I just couldn't spare some time to spend alone with me and my sketchbook and have fun and paint whatever I want. I couldn't do that, and that's why I'm doing everything and anything that I wanted to do in this sketchbook, and it's like I'm crossing off my bucket list. That's the main reason for you to have a sketchbook, because you need a place to be free, to express your thoughts freely, to get rid of all those judgments and criticisms that you can get. You don't want any of that in your sketchbook. Just be free, do whatever you want, paint whatever you want, and just have fun with it. Learn something new, experiment all those different things that come up in your mind or everything that you see on the internet. Just test it, experiment, and have fun. If you would like a tutorial on any of these techniques or painting styles that I did in this sketchbook, then let me know in the comments below and I'll be glad to do one. I'm going to stop talking right now so that you can enjoy the rest of the video for just a few minutes before I start talking again. I found these tiny paintings to be the most challenging of all because the area is so small and I have to do a lot of details, a lot of value changes in a smaller area, which was really difficult and it was really challenging for me, and I had lots of fun painting this. From now on comes my favorite part of this whole sketchbook, and that is watercolor plus ink paintings, and I just love this style of painting. I have done this before, but those were like a fix for my failed watercolors. I'll just go and grab my black fine liners and white gel pen and I'll try to fix my ruined watercolor paintings. So this is my first time trying to do a purposeful and intentional watercolor and ink paintings. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video as much as I did because I really love these paintings.
If you find the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realign yourself with the world, baby. Breathe slow, baby, yeah. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, breathe slow.
As I was approaching my last page, I lost all of my patience. I just want to finish the last page as soon as I can, and that's why I did a very simple one stroke floral leaf painting, and I'm really happy about it. Here's a flip through of all those paintings that I did in this sketchbook. I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, then be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll talk to you guys in another video. Bye everybody.